Ekurhuleni Metro in Gauteng has been downgraded to 3 clean audits to an unqualified audit opinion. This was revealed in the Auditor General's recent Local Government Audit Outcomes. This morning, we will be in different parts of Ekurhuleni to hear the issues from people on the ground. We start off in Kwa-Thema, where my co-anchor Naledi Moleo is with the community leader. But earlier on, we tried to speak to her, but there was an issue there. But I hope that the line is clearer now, Naledi. You were painting a picture about the state of municipalities and also looking at how only just over 35 local municipalities got clean audits.
Yeah, indeed, Aldrin. And one of the things that we obviously need to talk about is the experiences of people on the ground. There certainly is a concern around whether or not what is reflected in the AG's report is reflected on the ground. And we are still in Kwa-Thema. And in fact, we've got some community leaders and activists with us now. We've got Jabu Thela, who is, of course, a community leader here in Kwa-Thema. And I'm joined as well by Osi Millicente Letshega, who is a community activist with Plan Act. But Jabu, I'm going to let you go first, right? When you start to look at the AG report and how it talks about municipalities, for instance, like Ekurhuleni, and how finances are being handled, what's the first thing that comes to mind about how that is trickling down to service delivery in your community?
Well, it's a dire situation here because, as you can see around us, we are in Extension 8 currently. There's still a lot of shacks. There is still a lot of gravel roads. There are a few tar roads, but that's the main road. When it rains, the water here just gets stuck. There's no drainage systems. We do not have police visibility. The people here are in a situation where the electricity is divided into 2 sections. One part is supported by Fan Egg. One part is supported by Volcania. So basically, if the electricity at Volcania side is not on, then one part of Extension 8 remains off, and then the other one is on. So it's a very tricky situation where even if we can stand now for 5 hours, you are not going to see even one police van because we do not have police visibility here, which is a huge concern. Crime is an issue as well because of that. We don't have street light, adequate lighting. It's just terrible. You
earlier when we were talking were speaking about, and we're going to take some of those themes in pieces if you'll allow me. Let's talk about policing. So one of the things that Jabu mentioned is that if you are here in Kwa-Thema, in this particular area, and you'll tell us where we are, and you need to call an ambulance, for instance, just what needs to happen. Talk to me about those logistics. And you've talked about when you do call the police, let's talk about the capacity that Kwa-Thema does have where policing is concerned and if it's sufficient.
I don't think it's adequate because, first of all, if you call an ambulance from this section here, you will have to go a kilometer or 2 to go and wait for the ambulance there to arrive. So they are not going to come in here because some of the addresses do not show up on their maps, they say. So now imagine if you've got a very sick patient that is sitting there in the bed waiting for an ambulance to come, where now we need to send one person to go 2 kilometers, walk there to get an ambulance and then come back. It's a very tricky situation because you might end up with a dead person here. So if there were roads, if there were proper mappings, if there were proper structures that are done within the community, that was going to be prevented. A lot of lives were going to be saved. Similar case with the police. If you call the police now, I swear to you, they'll come after 7 hours. The police visibility is not even there. So 7 hours later, you have someone that has broken into your house. What's going to happen? The person is going to take everything, including your life. You know, it can go to that extent. So we need to improve. We need to fight these things. We need to ensure that all these issues are up across so that they can be resolved. Because if they are not resolved, then we as the community, actually the poorer parts of Kwa-Thema, then those people are going to be, we're going to perish.
Yeah. There is, of course, the conversation around what happens when community members, activists such as yourself, Millicent, and I'll ask you to come closer, please, then reach out to municipal leaders, right? What does that look like? Because your organization does that quite often. Talk to me about your organization and how successful you are in speaking to the local government.
It's very impossible instead to get a hold of our councillor, and we've tried so many times.
Who's your councillor?
Mr. Bieten Dart, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Last time he came there, I feel like the only time they recognize us actually it's during the election times. After that, they totally forget about us. Because even if you can go to Mkangwa right now, because I'm from Mkangwa, and our place is not pleasant at all. We do not have proper roads. We do not have roads at all. We don't have proper street naming. We do not have a good, like the hygiene there is not there. Ambulances, like he emphasized, is also a problem. If you call an ambulance right now, they'll tell you have to go to the main road, no matter how sick you are. With the police is also a disaster.
The main road is how far?
Because if maybe you are from like the last part, it's probably like 10 minutes away. Last time my sister was heavily pregnant, around 2, we called an ambulance. They kept on redirecting us up until we had to take a taxi around 4 a.m. to Polusong Hospital. So you see how like it's not very comfortable.
So 4 a.m. in the morning, your sister's being taken in a taxi to go to give birth.
Yes, imagine.
That's frightening. I want to talk about this though. Water, lights.
We do not have lights.
Let's start that again.
We do not have lights. We use candles. They are illegal connections. We do not have electricity.
When was the last time you spoke to your ward councillor?
The last time he came to our community, it was around April this year.
Before elections?
Yes.
And what was the interaction that he had? What happens when you try? So talk to me about, as a community activist who tries to speak for the community, when you reach out to your ward councillor, what does that process look like? Where are the roadblocks?
Well, all the time he'll be like, Mkangwa is full of undocumented foreigners. Because last time, the second time, prior to the last time he was there, they actually burnt his car. So now the only excuse that he has is, I'm frightened to come to Mkangwa because I don't feel safe.
Who burnt his car? The community?
The community members.
Why was that?
Because he kept on making promises that you guys will get houses. Because people were so upset because there's a squatter camp here at Ego, after Ego mine, and people were getting RDPs. And we are like Ward 82, and like we've been because Mkangwa has been there for like 25 years now. And still there's no difference. So people got so upset that how come those ones that are getting RDPs but we are not? So it's not fair because we've been here for so long, but still there are no changes.
One last question. How would you describe service delivery protests in Kwa-Thema? And I'll let you both start that one. How big they get, how violent they get, are the issues that are being raised addressed?
Not really. With Mkangwa, not really. And they get very bad because the main road, what's the name of that? Echo Road, right? Yeah. Echo Road, they would close it, and that is like the main road. They would close it with tires, and last time even a taxi got burnt there as well. So it get very violent.
Yeah, it's an unstable community. What do you want, Jabu? I'm going to let you have the final say here. What do you want the leaders of Ekurhuleni Council, for instance, to be thinking about? I mean, yesterday, let's talk about this. Yesterday in council meeting, council sat for 6 hours discussing an EMPD leadership sexual harassment case for 6 hours, right? Would you want to react to that? I mean, are your concerns being discussed when you watch what happens within Ekurhuleni Council?
Well, I asked them this question. I'm like, guys, you sit there for hours and hours on end, but our requests and our cries go and fall on deaf ears. So are you now listening to what we are saying? Do you now discuss ways that you can improve service delivery within our area? That's the one thing. But I never get a clear answer. You understand what I mean? And, you know, it all comes back to the leaders losing their moral compass, because if you do have your moral compass, then you understand that there's the right things that you need to do and there's the wrong things you need to. It needs to guide you to ensure that you make better decisions that are going to actually make a positive impact on the people that actually voted for you. And I think they forget that the people that actually put them there are the same people that need the same services that they promised when they manifest and when they campaign. So if this happens, if maybe they do the audits, lifestyle audits for all the seniors or all the people that are here, the MMCs, the councillors, then they will see where the money that's supposed to go to the people is going. I assure you. I really need to emphasize that so that it can be known, so that they do think about it, because our leaders are living lavish lifestyles where else the community is getting poorer and poorer. You understand? So every single day we see these challenges and we understand them, and we try by all means to help. As community leaders, we try to be the bridge between service delivery and the people. So we would advocate for them. We would try to get them their basics, the key basics, I mean education, water, lights, the basics that they should be getting, the basics that they were promised are not being delivered. So that is very crucial for the people and their survival.
Yeah.
If that is not done, then we are really killing the people.
Do political parties matter?
I think they matter in terms of serving their own selfish interests. That's it. Nothing has been done for the people, which is a shame.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Jabu Thela, who is a community leader, as well as Millicent Letera, who is a community activist with the organization Plan Act. And we're going to, what we're going to do is we're going to start moving around. We're going to move to Primrose now so we can see other parts of Ekurhuleni, hear what other communities in Ekurhuleni are feeling about service delivery in their community. Are their needs being heard? And we'll be doing this throughout the morning up until 9 a.m. Aldrin, we go back to you.
Well, certainly, as Naledi is indicating that she would be crisscrossing the Ekurhuleni Metro today as we focus on the state of municipalities. But